YouTube, Christine here, Skinny Brit to Be, coming to you with my week 85, probably 85, might be 84, post RNY gastric bypass. It's Wednesday, is it Wednesday? I think the 22nd of August. Crikey, the year's going so fast. How am I getting on? I'm losing. At long last. Perhaps there's a couple of reasons for that. I've been journaling my food on my Fitness Pal. I did mention it, I think, in my last video. But I've continued to do that, and I've joined up with a couple of other people. My son, particularly, who is trying to put on weight. And he's actually beginning to manage it now. He got rid of a lot of fat to begin with. I say fat, he's never ever been fat, but he got a bit wasty, shall I call it. And because he hadn't been at all well, he definitely felt he needed to tone up. So he got rid of his flobber, as he calls it, and he is now putting weight back on and in muscle. And he has some fantastic muscle tone. But it's like two ends of the spectrum, because he's on 3,200 calories a day and there's me jogging along at 1,200 calories a day. But it has been a very useful exercise, journaling. Really, if you are not losing weight, I can strongly recommend it. I've always had a pretty good idea of what I was eating. And it's not a case that I'm eating, I don't think, anything less. It's just that I'm being much more mindful over what I eat, which it makes you think. I've always sort of planned my meals. I know what I'm having for lunch today. I know what I'm having for tea today. I have tomorrow already sort of planned and sort of in the fridge, etc., or freezer, or whatever it is that I'm having. And I know what my husband's having too. He has the same as me, whether he likes it or not. No, he does, don't get me wrong. He does have extras, etc., and he has all sorts of extras that I allow him, etc. But like I've always said, if we go shopping and there's anything specific that he fancies, he has to go and get it. Because I can't... I don't want to become a feeder, you know, fatten up all the people around you, etc., at the expense of, you know, I don't want to ruin their health because I'm trying to eat healthily. But I've realised that eating healthily and eating the way I do has actually now become a way of life. I think once the brain goes into gear and stops putting it through this awful guilt trip of, oh, I can't have it, I'm so hard done by, and just says, just like a diabetic does, you know, if you're seriously controlling your diabetes, I assume that you have to accept that certain foods are a sort of no-no for you, or only under specific circumstances, you know, if you have your appropriate medicine close at hand, etc., etc., or you have means of dealing with it. And for someone like me, the means of dealing with a slight overeat is just being that little bit more careful for a couple of extra days. So I don't consider I'm on a diet, but I do consider that I watch very carefully what I eat. I do seem to be able to eat most things. There's very little that really seems to upset me. But then I've not pushed anything, so can I honestly say that nothing upsets me? My weight has gone down. I'm now 150.8. It's not a vast loss, but it is a loss. And to actually see myself shifting ever closer to that 150 or those 140s is just marvellous. Because at the moment I feel that my goal of sort of something round about 145, 150 is So close. I think I'd like to get to 145. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I've got a new toy, so I'm going to break off the video now. I'm going to show you my new toy. Okay, you're going to have to excuse the mess, but this is my new toy. I had a bit of a think as to what to do while I was using it. I can look out the window. But then my son was telling me that whenever he goes on his treadmill at home, he has his computer on a table in front of him. So when I investigated, I found that my computer, my laptop, would very nicely just slot in. And if I put my earphones on to drown out the treadmill, I can watch YouTube videos to my heart's content. I only had it for 2 or 3 days. I was really lucky. Bought it second hand for an absolute snip. Cheaper than even trying out a gym for a month. So I thought, well, I'll see how I get on with it. My husband is absolutely over the moon. He just couldn't wait to go and pick it up. We were extremely lucky. It was just down the road. Because we only have a small car. In fact, I can't show you it. It's a little Volks VW Polo. But we managed to get it in the back of the car and struggled in with it and struggled out with it from where we bought it. And he sat in the passenger seat holding on like grim death and hoping that I wouldn't brake hard and we'd go out through the back of the car. But anyway, that's my new toy. Okay, that was my new toy. And I've always used the Wii before, but I was beginning to feel that it wasn't pushing me at all. The game that I play on it is a walking game, and you can only walk as fast as the character on the screen walks. So I just didn't know that I was honestly burning the calories that it said I was. And I don't want to cheat on this journey. Don't get me wrong, it got me fit. I got to the stage where, you know, whether for the first time in, you know, sort of since we've lived here, I've been walking downtown and not arriving home absolutely shattered, and as I think I've mentioned before, going down to the local shops, shopping centre. It's down a very steep hill, and going down means I've got to come back up. And I puff fractionally, but not much. So the Wii's done its job. But now I feel I want to move on, and I want to know that I'm raising my heart rate, that I'm really burning stuff, and also possibly use some more muscles that maybe the Wii's not quite using so much. The only slight problem I have with a treadmill is that I do have to hold on to all the time, because I've got this neuropathy in my feet. My balance is absolutely atrocious. And is it just me, but do other people feel, disorientated when they get off a treadmill after sort of 30-40 minutes? I sort of feel as though I've been on a sort of fairground ride a bit when I first get off of it, and it's not because my pulse is exceedingly high or that I'm breathing very heavily, because I always do a slow down before I come off of it, and my pulse is always back to normal before I get off, etc. So I don't think it's lack of oxygen or anything like that, but I just feel very, weird is all I can say. My husband seems to get it, but to a slightly, but only very, very slightly compared with me. Like when the first time I got off it, I came walking into my front room, my lounge, and I was all over the place, and I definitely had to sit down. Anyway, that's my new toy. Hopefully that's going to contribute a bit more to my weight loss, get some more muscle groups going. I can definitely feel it in the tops of the rear, sort of in just below my buttocks, etc. I'm not sure what muscle group that is, etc. But I've got to also nurse my knees because I have got two knee replacements, and they complain like mad if I do too much to them. So, and I'm not into running. I don't jog. I did just faintly the first time it arrived break into a very, very slow trot. But I'm not running. I don't think that's good for my knees anyway. Just too high impact. Anyway, best of luck to you all. And the beauty of it as well is that I can now catch up with some of my YouTube videos that I love to watch. Do two things at once. Just brilliant. Anyway, hope your journeys are all going well. Best of luck to any newbies that just before pre-surgery, post-surgery. It does get better. Life does get brilliant. That's 185.2 pounds gone from me. So if little old me can do it, then you keep at it and you'll get there too. Bye folks. Bye. Thanks for watching.